Hello, Gemini. Healing Grasshopper here to do your June 2025 reading. Happy birthday, Gemini. Um, so we've started out with the tea leaves here, and there are a few other signs that's going through somewhat of the same thing. Um, and we have the quill here, get back to basics. We have forest, muddled, unclear thinking. Here we have chair empty, someone is leaving your life, grief, sorrow over a loss, flowers, happiness. Okay? So it's apparent that some of you are facing breakups. And when you're in a breakup, things don't feel very good, obviously. And, things are muddled and unclear. And we've all been through them. I know I've been through them. And you have this feeling like you can't see through to the other side, you know? Like you can't imagine yourself happy and put together again and that kind of thing, but you'll get there. And the cards certainly say so at the end here with happiness. When I was pulling them, I pulled these and I was like, oh boy, Gemini was going through it, and then happiness came out. I was like, you see? And right before I pulled it out, and I was like, Gemini's going through it, but they'll be okay. And then here comes happiness. So, Five of Pentacles, we're starting with. Of course, I can't think of a more apropos card to come out here. Yeah, this is what one feels like in a breakup. Left in the cold, you know. The warmth in the relationship is gone, and there's this feeling of being on one's own. Uh, Not just physically, but like in one's own feelings, and sentiments, they don't understand me type thing. Um, Justice and the Two of Pentacles. Perfect. So being felt, a feeling left out of the cold, the universe telling you everything is going to work out, and the Two of Pentacles is a reassurance that you can handle it. You know, in this context, Two of Pentacles is saying, that saying that God never gives you anything that you can't handle is exactly what this is saying. Don't worry, you can handle this. It's gonna be okay. It feels worse than it is. The Hermit, of course, under the Five of Pentacles is, you know, being in this case being forced to rely upon oneself, and in that process, there's a lot of growth that happens. And it's not something that we, look for, or count on, or expect, but, when we're in the moment, not so fun, it hurts, but there comes a turning point where you're like, oh, look at that. I see things a little differently. Um, and things start to brighten up. All right, let's see what we got here. All of these? No. Yes. All of them. Okay. And what did I say about the hermit and starting to see things differently? That's what the hanged man is saying. This is gaining a new perspective on a situation. Five of Swords under Justice is winning in the end. And this card really shows this person like victorious over these two defeated people. Um, that doesn't necessarily mean that the other person is defeated or needs to be defeated. It's more of how you feel in the situation. You feel at some time, at some point, you will feel like you're getting on top of things and you can handle things. Knight of Cups is at some point the feeling the loss of resentment. You realizing that, not everything has to be hatred and daggers all the time. Yes, we're splitting, but a lot of this we can do amicably, and I can still acknowledge the love for this person and that kind of thing. There, that I like to see this in a breakup reading. This is kind of a white flag type thing where, okay, let's not fight. Okay, what else we got, Spirit? We need at least three more cards, please. There's the Fool. Yes, new beginnings. After the Hangman, perfect. New perspective, new beginning. And this is after things are starting to calm down, you feeling like you're getting on top of things. Beautiful. You see, Gemini, it doesn't always have to be disastrous and sad and depressing. Sometimes you're just at an end of a season, and that's okay. And it doesn't even have to be all that sad either if you don't let it, you know. No one's dying here. You're just going on different paths, that's all. Two more, please, Spirit. I don't think you're quite there yet. No. I don't think like this a breath of fresh air has come to you yet. You're still in this, muddled, unclear thinking, like mourning part, which is fine. But I'm here to tell you it's not going to last. It's going to pass pretty quickly. There. I don't think these are ours. Are these ours? Either of them? No, I didn't think so. That was me just being clumsy. Okay. Six of Swords reversed. It is reversed. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, I don't think that you felt the breath of fresh air yet. I think you're still feeling left out in the cold type feeling. And this feeling of having to leave, having to separate is not good. And there might even be an argument over who is physically leaving. Like if you have an apartment together, who's leaving, me or you? Whose name is on the lease? You're both on the lease? Oh boy. Who's going to go? I don't want to go. You have to go. That's there may be some of that, and that's why there's muddled, unclear thinking, because on top of the emotional stuff, you've got to think about like logistics. King of Swords. Okay. So King of Swords and the outcome here is saying that you need to be practical. King of Swords is a very practical person. He speaks with economy. He's not one to like argue, and he's kind of he says when he has to say it and no more or less. You know Um, and he can, of course, recognize BS when he sees it, and he does not engage in BS. So, this is being practical and direct and um, being able to recognize what's important and what's not, and getting things done efficiently, right? So this is a suggestion to you more than an observation here that don't forget to not to sweat the small stuff and just keep focused on what you know is important. First, yes. Okay. So, yeah, unsettled is what this is saying. I'm glad you guys tuned into this because I think I have the deck upside down. Is this reversed? No, right? So the clarification cards are acknowledging again the way you feel, restless and unsure of yourself and everything that like it says up here. Um, but Queen of Wands is coming up here between Justice and the Two of Pentacles. This is um at some point taking the reins and being able to deal with things clearly, with clarity. Ace of Swords reversed. It's reversed. Okay. Right under the Four of Swords. It's still. This is like recent past, present of again not having your full clarity yet. And by the way, see how the line goes? It's under this forest, muddled, unclear thinking. You know, ace upright would be clarity, but it's upside down. So this is lack of clarity. That's okay. We all feel like this when we're in this kind of an emotional crisis. The Empress reversed. Okay, it's mixed deck. Um, reversed, not reversed. Okay, so you see how you have recent, past, and present here, and then it progresses into the near future. We've got Queen of Wands, who is assured of herself and confident in everything, and then you've got the Empress, full of ideas and uh, who is secure in herself and that kind of thing. So let's have one more. The Sun, right? Happiness, right under happiness here. Okay, so this is a reassurance reading Gemini. And this is really what tarot is all about, right? You're in a dilemma and things don't feel very good and you don't see light at the end of the tunnel. And tarot is very, very good at showing you when and where it's going to come. Well, not perfectly when, of course. Timelines are difficult with tarot, but at least it tells you, times will change. This too shall pass, and you're not always going to be wallowing in the mud. Okay, so let's do um, advice cards. Higher self, Let's see. Answer is simple. Okay. One of my favorite decks. Sonia's Showcat. Yeah, I'm not going to shuffle this deck. It's a little big for my hands. Okay. Rebel. Okay. I love this card. It's so cute, this card. So you've got the Rebel here. See this guy? He's got his motorcycle jacket on and his spiky hair and everything, but he's on a tricycle. I mean, he's on a pink bicycle with training wheels. Like, grrr, but he's harmless. Um, this is kind of the attitude that you need to have. Like, this is spirit saying that you need to look forward to the next phase in your life with wonder and fun and excitement and humor, right? We're not going to take everything so seriously. So, and there's nothing wrong with coloring outside the box. We don't have to do everything the way we always do them. Another thing is that when you're in a relationship, you can get very comfortable and cozy in your routine, you know, and a lot of the being upset is having your routine disrupted. So, but I don't know how much that bothers a Gemini. Geminis, you're able to adapt and move on a dime pretty easily, but still, there's somewhat of this here I can feel. Um, but this is like, don't forget who you are, Gemini. You're out for a new adventure. So, okay, Gemini. I'm glad you're starting to see things differently. Don't fight with this other person. Just wish them well and move on because you've got better things to do than to be fighting with your exiting significant other. Okay? So, looking forward to hearing from you in the comment section. I answer every single one because I love engaging with you guys. Okay? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. It's been kind of slow, so every single subscribe means a lot to me. So thank you in advance. I will speak to you soon. Love, light, and many blessings.